Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn Roblox or Roblox models into real life using Unreal Engine 4. Unreal Engine 4 is a 3D software which you can use to make video games and do all sorts of 3D stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so first, you're going to need to export your model, whatever you're going to be using, into Unreal Engine. So how you're going to do that is you're going to right click your model, and then you're going to click export selection. What this is going to do is this is going to save it into your computer, so that way you're able to use it for whatever you need to do. Okay, now this next step can go both ways. If you're loading huge models or huge maps, you're going to want to bring them into Blender, and you're going to want to export them as an FBX from Blender. So I'm going to show you how to do that right here. Okay, now that you have opened up Blender, what you're going to want to do is go to File, which is in the top left hand corner, and then you're going to want to go all the way down to Import and then click OBJ. After you clicked OBJ, you're going to want to find your model. Mine is right here, so I'm just going to click it and then click Import OBJ. After you clicked Import OBJ, it should be somewhere around right there. My model is right there. Yeah, after you've imported your model, you're going to want to click File, Export, and then export it as an FBX. My model isn't that big, so I'm not going to have to export it as an FBX, but this is for models that are really huge, like certain maps or towns or cities. Yeah, pretty much just maps that are really huge. So you're going to want to do this step if your map is really big. Now, after exporting your model as an FBX, next you're going to want to open Unreal Engine 4. Now, there's a lot of steps into installing Unreal Engine 4 onto your device, so I'm going to leave a tutorial in the description on how to install Unreal Engine 4. But after you installed Unreal Engine 4, what you're going to want to do is open it. When you open up Unreal Engine, you're going to be greeted with some new project categories. If you don't already have projects already, you're going to be greeted with some new project categories. So what you're going to want to do is click Games and then click Next down here, and then you're going to want to click Blank Template because we're not doing any of this. Now you're going to want to choose the settings that are good for your computer. What I'm going to do, I'm going to choose maximum quality, and then I'm going to enable ray tracing. And then I'm gonna click no starter content because we don't need starter content. And then you're gonna want to choose your device. I'm using desktop, so I'm going to be using the desktop/console. And down here you could change your name and the directory where the project is gonna be located. I'm gonna turn this into a tutorial because it's a tutorial. And now once you're done with all of that, you could click Create Project. After opening up Unreal Engine and starting your new project, what you're going to want to do is learn the basics on how to move around. So you could use the arrow keys to move side to side and back and forward. And you could also use WASD while right clicking. That will allow you to move around freely and also look around. So now that you know how to move around, oh wait, one more thing. Up here, you could select how fast the camera goes, all the way from 1 to 8, and you could also, the camera speed scaler, the higher it is, the faster it will go at a certain speed, and the lower it is, the slower it will go. I'm just going to keep it at 1, so that way it doesn't go super fast, but it doesn't go super slow. So now that you know how to move around and how to change the speed, what you're going to want to do is import your models. So, like it says down here, you could either just drop your files, or you could right-click, create a folder, and import it that way. So I'm going to right-click and create a new folder, and I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to drag my model in here. Once you drag your model into the box, it's going to show you your Fbx import options. So what you're going to want to do is leave everything up here as default, and then you're going to want to click Import All. After that, you could exit out, and then all the stuff that's highlighted right here, these are the actual models, what makes up your model. These are what makes up your model. And you're going to want to drag that into your workspace. So what you're going to want to do, just left click and then drag it up in there. Now if your model is too small like mine is, you're going to want to scale it, and I'm going to scale it to however much you need to. I'm going to scale it 10 by 10, check it that way, and it seems to be fine. Now we can already see that it's looking quite realistic, but there's still a few things that we can do in order to make this a lot more realistic. So first I gotta make sure it's not laying on the ground. That's the first thing. Okay, so in order for me to get this thing out the ground, I'm going to have to rotate it. So in order to rotate, you could either press E, which will allow you to rotate items, or you could just come up here and click select and rotate objects right up here in the top right hand corner. And then you're going to want to turn it until it reaches 90, and then I'm going to drag it down by pressing W, which will allow me to move it around. Or you could just come up here and click select and translate objects and then drag it down. Now that we have our now that we can see our character, we can see it and it looks pretty realistic. But once again, there's still some more stuff that we can do with it. I'm going to teach you guys about lighting. Once you're ready to do lighting, what you're going to want to do is come over here to the left side of the screen and click lights, and then you will be shown different light options that you can use in order to make your character look even better. So the ones I'm going to be using are spotlights, point lights, and I might add a directional light, but mostly spotlights and point lights. So the point lights, what it's going to do is just add a light from a certain point, and you could change where this point is located. You could also change the settings down here. Let me drag this up. You could change the settings down here. You could change the intensity, which will change how intense it is. You could change the attention radius, which will show how far your light is shown. You could choose the source radius. I don't know what this does. Weird stuff. Soft source radius. I don't know what that does either. But the only stuff I normally change is the intensity, the light color, and the attention radius. And sometimes the temperature if I want to make it warmer or cooler. Okay, I'm about to speed up the video so that way I could show you how my lighting looks when it's all done. Okay, now that I'm done with my lighting, next what I'm gonna want to do is go to cinematic, and then I'm going to want to click the camera, the sign, the cinematic, whatever. You're gonna want to click this camera object, and you're gonna want to drag it in. Now you're gonna have this screen at the bottom, so in order to make it the full screen, what you're gonna want to do is click up here where there's perspective in the top left hand corner, and then click down to Cine Camera Actor 1. Now it may be showing into a random spot, but all you're gonna want to do, just turn it and place it to where you want. Now I can't even see my character because it's too blurry, but that's because of the settings. So I'm going to change the settings down here. So I'm going to be changing the camera settings. So I'm going to be changing the aperture, which just shows how blurry it is. So I could change it at fullest, but I don't really want it at fullest because I still want a depth of field effect. So I'm going to change it to probably about 6, and then I'm going to drop down this focus settings tab, and then I'm going to change the manual focus distance a little closer, and now we're clearly able to see our character. Now I'm going to drop down the aperture just a little bit so that way background objects aren't too in focus, and the focal length is just the field of view. So now what you're going to want to do is open up cinematics here at the top, and then you're going to want to add a level sequence. now that you have your level sequence, you're gonna wanna come over here and place your camera into the level sequence. So select your camera and then drag it down into the level sequence. Now you're gonna want to click, after doing that, you're gonna want to click this circle right here. This will allow you to animate each keyframe during the entire thing. But before we actually do that, we're gonna want to change the FPS. So you could either change it to custom. I don't recommend anything over 300, but I'm going to go to 40 because that's all we need. So in order to, the only things that you're gonna need for making your little cinematic scene or whatever, you're only gonna need the location. You're gonna need to change the location and the rotation. That's all you're gonna need. You don't need to mess with the scale. That's irrelevant to pretty much everything. So how I do it, I just come all the way to the end, and then I minimize this, and then after I do that, in order to change the location, I just come over here or over here, it doesn't matter where the location is. And then let me get a far view so that way I could show you everything. Alright, and then you're gonna want to open up back the level sequencer, and now play it right here, and we can see it's moving. But at the end, it's still too blurry. So in order to fix that, we're gonna want to change both the focal length, or not the focal length, we're going to want to change the manual focus distance and the aperture. To fix the main focus distance and the aperture, you just come over here, and then you're going to want to actually hold on, let me make this tab smaller so that way I can see what we're doing. And then you're going to want to change the values for both of these. The aperture is always at the top and the focus distance is always at the bottom. In the middle is the focal length, which is the FOV, or field of view. Just play around with the settings, see what fits, see what doesn't, and when it looks good, you could play it again, and it looks pretty good. So now what you're gonna want to do is come up here to this render, and then now you're gonna want to make sure that everything is default. You could change the directory after you got where you want your video to go to. Now all you got to do is click capture movie, save selected, and save this too, and now it will render it out. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure to smash that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that way you never miss anything that is posted on this channel. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.